Cluster.
Here.
Buck Tipton.
Here.
Michael Walker.
Here.
Dennis Hill.
Here, I'd like to welcome each and every one of y'all out now. If everybody would stand.
Father, we thank you once again for the opportunity to come together as a city and those who represent the citizens of Church Hill. Ask you, Lord, as we gather together tonight and listen to what we have on the agenda, that you just help us to be guided by your hand in all we do and all we say. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody had a chance to look at last month's minutes. If so, do we have a motion to accept them?
I move we accept.
We have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye. Next, we have a motion where we had our workshop on February 16th. We have a motion to accept those minutes.
Yeah, make a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye. Have any committee reports?
Yeah, I have a personnel committee report.
Okay.
We're needing a fire chief and a code enforcement. And, it's been discussed with Will Mullins if he would like to take the position of fire chief and code enforcement officer. This would be an increase in pay at $3 an hour. He's currently certified police officer, firefighter #1, and has completed the HMTO school, which makes him hazmat certified. Will is to train in the stormwater drainage, and upon certification would receive $1 on the hour increase. Will is also to train with Keith Bruner, the city of Church Hill's contract building inspector, to become certified building inspector. Upon receiving that certificate, there will be a $2 an hour increase. At the time, I'd like to make a motion to place Will Mullins in this position.
We have a motion, we have a second? Discussion? Yeah, on the building inspector side, I spoke with Keith Bruner, our current building inspector, and he's gonna take him under his wing and train him. You're probably looking at least a minimum of a year to get that certification done. Will's is a good man. He's gonna keep his certification up in the police department. Like I said, you're an F what now, firefighter?
Firefighter 1. I've been through the fire school in Johnson City. That was back in 2005. I've done it since I was 16 years old, since '96. So I've been doing it for a day or two.
Will's a very good employee, very knowledgeable, and I think he'll do a good job if the board votes him in. We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Call the roll.
Kevin Christian.
Yes.
Keith Gibson.
Yes.
James Grigsby.
Yes.
Kevin Cluster.
Yes.
Buck Tipton.
Yes.
Michael Walker.
Yes.
Dennis Hill.
Aye. Recorder's report?
Also,
Oh, okay.
I'd like to say we have selling resumes for Parks and Rec.
When you think y'all have that? Well,
I don't know if we're still getting resumes or not, but we got one today, and so we'll try to get something scheduled this week.
okay. Sounds good. Recorder's report.
In the current in the U.S. Bank, we have in our general fund $970,129.74. In our sewer fund, we have $1,043,584.39. As we talked about, we're slowly switching banks again. We switched over to First Community Bank. In that general fund, we have $7,695,717.55. Sewer fund is $1,313,262.08. Our swimming pool fund is $33,040.88. Our depreciation fund is $1,303,819.08. The general contingency fund is $1,382,891.19. General savings fund is $44,621.44. The restricted reserve one is $23,222.62. The sewer hardship fund is $15,332.60. Drug fund is $1,805. Our local government investment fund, 1379551, is $719.43. The local government investment fund, 3795510, is $264.61, to make a total of $13,828,411.02.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you, Kim. Let the board know, we'll be gearing up probably in March, start having our workshops for our budget and go over some things. We've got a conference call, bring it to date with Evan and Niceville over this ARPA money. And, we'll look at it down the road on upgrading our sewer system and so forth. Now, we have someone here that wanted to address the board for Vicky.
Isaiah 117 house.
Is she here?
Yes.
Could you stand and give your name and address, please?
Allison Osborne, address is 120 River Chase Drive, Churchill, Tennessee. Just want to come tell you all a little bit about what we're bringing.
You want to come up here? And,
Sure.
Or just come from
From anywhere. Tell you a little bit about what we're bringing to Hawkins County. So the Isaiah 117 house was founded in Carter County in 2017. It's a place where when children are removed by the Department of Children's Services from their homes and going into foster placement, instead of going to a DCS office, which looks a lot like this room right here, to wait for placement, they'll be welcomed into the Isaiah 117 house. Loved on, it's like a regular home. We'll have nice, beautiful furniture and warm colors. It's just a home where the volunteers will just love on them as soon as they come in, instead of having to sit at the DCS office in a conference room, with no food, no TV, just them and the caseworker. We'll be able to feed them whatever they want to eat from wherever they want it within reason. We'll make sure that they're fed. They'll also get to choose, go to our giving room, which right now is planned to be about as big as this room, where they can go pick out brand new clothing, toys, toiletries, anything they need. We'll be able to provide that for them to help lessen the trauma of that day for them. I have a friend who had foster children, and they sat in a DCS office for 10 hours, and they described that experience as a true living hell for them. I know the circumstances they came from, and so they weren't great. So to say that sitting in a DCS office was the true hell, it's a traumatic situation for them. So this home will provide them, a loving space to come in while they wait. We'll also be able to help foster families say yes to taking in these foster children. So if they get the call in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. for the baby that's coming home from the hospital, I know most people don't just have car seats, cribs hanging out at their house waiting on these babies. We'll be able to provide them brand new car seats, cribs, clothes, whatever they need to be able to say yes to bring these children home. And we're there to help ease the load for the caseworker. So instead of sitting in the office trying to do the mountain of paperwork and occupy the child all at the same time, they can focus on making the phone calls and doing the paperwork that they need to make while we're entertaining the child, playing with them, loving on them, just being there for them, for that, what they need on that day. We have recently purchased land due to the live streaming. I can't give out the location, but I'll hang around and I can answer that question later. It is on the Churchill to Winslow line, down off of Carter's Valley. So we've got that land. We have groundbreaking scheduled for March 12th at 3 p.m. and we would love for everybody to come to that. So once we start, we have a contractors event coming up 1 week from tonight where hopefully we'll get plumbers, electricians, landscapers, everybody on board to come build this house for these children. And then once we break ground, we'll be ready to get this up, and hopefully by this time next year, we'll have open doors to be able to start serving the children. Currently, there's around 60 to 70 children in DCS foster custody right now. That could be placed in foster homes or, you know.
Is that just in Hawkins County?
Just in Hawkins County, and that doesn't include kinship placements. So if parents,
Does it include what?
it doesn't, kinship placements,
Okay,
so if,
okay.
you know, aunts, uncles, grandparents have taken in these children, is not included in that 60 to 70, and I got the number for Churchill, 11 children are in, custody, which is 18% of all children in Hawkins County are from Churchill.
How many children will that hold when it's complete?
So if we get in a large sibling group, we can take the entire sibling group. We'll have, you know, multiple beds that we can accommodate if they're staying overnight. But if we're mixing cases, probably no more than 5 or so.
How big is this facility, square footage? Do you know how big it's gonna be?
I think the upstairs, not including the living room, it's 2,000 square feet. And it'll include a visitation space as well. So we have 2 bedrooms, an office, a kitchen, living room, and a playroom, dining room area kind of. And then there'll be a separate visitation space that we can close off from the main house. And so if we have another case come in, then we can put them in that. Or if parents have visitation rights to their children, like bio families are trying to reunite. So instead of going to visitation at the park, McDonald's, you know, somewhere like that, they can come and be in that visitation space. And it's just like, it's like a studio apartment, I say. It's got kitchen, a full bathroom, living room, so they can come and actually, you know, be like a family together in that environment.
Once you're up and getting running, how are you gonna sustain it? Is it through, will you get any monies from the state or the federal level?
It's all through donations.
Donations, okay.
Yeah, we run strictly on donations. And we like to have the next year's operating budget in reserve when we're going.
And you have, of course, I'm sure this is I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
It's okay.
What are you looking at operating calendar year?
Our operating budget, I think, is about, we just upped it. I wanna say it's 150,000.
Per year?
Mhm. Yeah, so that'll include all of the house maintenance running it, salaries for, we'll have 1 full-time, 1 part-time employee at the house, and everybody else will be volunteers that are.
Explain your stock buddies.
Yes, we do have stock buddies, so monthly donors, we love monthly donors, and all it is I'll, you know, commit to giving X amount, doesn't matter the amount, every month, and you get a pair of Isaiah House socks. It's the only way to get the socks. I tell everybody they look like International Harvester socks, but they're not, so if you like International Harvester, they go both ways for you. But yeah, so we love sock buddies, and so that is guaranteed that we'll be getting that every month.
Is that pretty good right now, they doing that?
Yeah, we have a pretty good, I would say about, right now, we're roughly at 10,000 a year on sock buddies.
Really?
And it's a wonderful program. My daughter just took 4 fosters from Hawkins County about 9 months ago. And at some point, they were in an Isaiah house, not in Hawkins County.
Right.
So it's a wonderful program. They still talk about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, they've been with my daughter for 9 months. They still talk about the
Yeah.
bunk beds.
We have, one girl that's spoke with us, she's 18 now, she's aged out of care, but she talks about before, you know, going through the system without an Isaiah house and with an Isaiah house and how much it changed her life, being there with an Isaiah house. And so currently, the children in Hawkins County are having to go to another house that's open locally, And so Greene County, Washington County, Sullivan County, and Carter County are all in the northeast region. And so, you know, you're talking downtown Greenville, almost to Jonesboro, the other side of Elizabeth, or across from the Bristol racetrack is where they're having to go now.
I know girls, one in Sullivan County, Beth, I got the wife, but anyway, she talks about how great it is, and, like it's a good thing, and, I don't know where she works hard, just volunteer, I have no idea to. I think it's a great.
Yeah, it's much needed. We're currently in 8 states. We have 11 open homes, so 9 of those being in Tennessee, 2 in Indiana. And so Florida, Georgia, Virginia, Tennessee, Indiana, Ohio, Texas, and South Carolina are all working towards bringing these to their states and their communities.
Anyone else have any questions?
Will somebody be at the house 24 hours a day, or is it just as needed?
It's as needed, so if there's a child in there, there has to be a DCS caseworker present.
Right.
So if the child's overnight, we don't have to have a volunteer present with them. I mean, they're sleeping, so there's nothing we can do really. But the caseworkers, they rotate out to make sure that there's always a caseworker with them. But when the kid comes in, we'll try to be there with them the entire day until bedtime if they're staying overnight.
Okay, because sometimes when we take kids in, you know, there's that waiting period so we've had them at our station for multiple hours too, so I was
Yeah.
wondering if that would speed up to where we would take them there and meet DCS there if it's one we picked up, or if they're still gonna have to come here, because, you know, that's.
Yeah, they'll have to be a DCS caseworker present.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, we're having a budget workshop in March, and we'll be sure that will be included in our budget.
That'd be great.
Maybe once we get through that, we can come back,
Okay.
maybe have some good news for you.
Okay,
Thank you, and
Thank
thank you for your contribution.
thank you all.
Next, we have under new business, orders 23-508, orders to amend Title 12 building, utility, et cetera, code, presentation from Alicia Osborne, Hawkins County. What this is just cleaning up our books. The Plan Commission voted to adopt this, sad to say, all the way back to early 2000, and we just need to vote it tonight to clean up our books on the building code enforcement. So that's where we're at, orders number 23-508. The Plan Commission has done adopted it, and then the BMA has to pass it. So do we have a motion to adopt it?
Motion.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
Keith Gibson,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes,
Ben Foster,
Yes.
Jeff Tippin,
Yes.
Michael Walker, Dennis Hill.
Aye. And I want to congratulate Will, on his, lateral move in the city. That's going to really be good for the city. We've not had a code enforcer. And a lot of it's due to COVID and stuff like that too, but, that's where we're at. Do we have any updates on the complaint we had last month?
So after the meeting, we done the normal, give them a 30-day notice of they're in violation of what codes they're in violation of. So 30 days is kind of right at this moment. There's been some progress made. I think Sergeant Dean maybe can tell you a little bit more. He's talked to the owners, and they're still telling us that they're going to get this property all the way cleaned up, and I think they asked for just a little bit more time. So our next step, if it's not, would be the next court date would be in March anyway. So we only have municipal court once a month, so it would be a month from now, or, you know, before he could appear in a court date if we have to go that route. I think at the end result, we in the city would just want the property cleaned up. So that's what we're trying to work toward.
Yeah. Well, that's number one priority. You and I discussed some other areas
Yes, sir.
where people are doing some things that go against our city ordinances, so,
Mayor, if we get a complaint about a piece of property, who do we need to go to? Do we need to call Will straight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And what we'd like to do, we'll keep track of this, if you're just on board, but, maybe periodically, you report to the board cases, and we've got several, Chad and I talked about it. And maybe bring them, come into our BMA meeting and update them on those things.
Yes, sir.
But, we've got a lot of work to do in that area.
Yes, sir.
Could he put that report with the other reports, you think, just in a digital
On
or
the
written
fire
format?
report, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was.
I mean, you already gotta produce the fire department report anyway, so you maybe could just
Yeah.
produce a code enforcement report with it or
And I
something
think
like
it's
that.
better that way.
Yeah, we can review it ahead of time instead of having to hash it all out.
And there's
all
no
that.
need to hash this stuff out in the public.
Yeah, agreed.
Take care of it.
Did you bring like the junk cars, the wheel?
That's one of our problem areas. Yeah. Does anybody else got anything else? If not, entertain a motion, if I missed
Well,
anything.
I actually do. I just wanna, I have some concerns about, a sentence in Luke's resignation letter that talks about, strong reservations about saying yes to a person that, he felt brought a negative light to the fire department in the city. Is that person on board? I mean, did we allow that person to be a part of the fire department, or?
As of right now, no. So, there was an individual contacted the city about joining as a volunteer status. And I had asked him to meet with the person and discuss it, and, which obviously never took place.
I mean, Luke is a great guy, and if he has reservations, I would like for the city to take that seriously.
Right.
Anyone that we would consider would have to go through a full background check. For something there that disqualifies them, just like any employee. So that's the way we would handle that.
Thank you.
So we would look at that and go that route.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else? Entertain a motion to adjourn? Who's second? Second.
That over there is trying to.
Did anybody in the audience? Well, we've done adjourned. Come back.
I wasn't-
Back next week.
I wasn't. That was pretty easy.
Yeah.